Hello, everyone. Taser2 here, and welcome back to the Lads Podcast. This is episode 3 of
Yep.
season 1.
Yep. Season 3. Episode 3. Yep.
Nope, season 3.
Season 3. Jump forward like a year or two.
Several years.
Several years.
And today we have a couple of topics for you. This is no guest episode or
First one
anything
of this
special
season,
like
I
that.
think.
No, because episode 1.
Oh, forgot about episode 1.
Well, anyway, we got a couple of cool things.
Yeah.
Do you want to start? I feel
Yeah,
like a
I'll-
funny story would be good.
Yeah. Well, you say funny. It may not be funny to some folks listening. Um, slight preface to this story. I blanked on what to report for this episode of the podcast. There was no big news events as far as I could see, so I texted one of my friends and said, "Hey, you heard any fun news stories recently?" They went to Google and they found one, and oh boy, is this a story! The headline reads: "Investigation continues into co-pilot's mid-airplane exit." Yes, you heard that right. A pilot just walked out of an airplane mid-flight. This was in. I don't want to try to pronounce that name, but it's in. I can't even cut this bit. I'm looking for the state, because I don't know what the acronym NC is. Do you know that state?
North Carolina.
I'm dumb. In North Carolina.
I'm not cutting that part because it was funny.
Okay, fine. That's fair. Um, a pilot just walked out of an airplane on, it says Friday. Time of recording is August 2nd.
Yeah, it's the second.
It's the 2nd. First of all, that all alone is kind of crazy. It's August.
Yeah, Jamie out here not even knowing what month it is.
I mean, my brain, man. But yeah, there's not much to report here. Police are still investigating. But it seems that yeah, just some man walked out of an airplane. The only other information they have is that, well, one, the plane crash landed. And the other pilot was all right as far as I can tell. He did not he suffered minor injuries. Yeah, the surviving pilot was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Other than that, what was the other bit that I saw? There were slight landing gear issues before it took off. I have no idea how that would be related, or if that's anything of note. But yeah, not much to report here other than just man walked out of the airplane mid-flight. Just
Man
said, "See ya."
walked out of an airplane. He just said, "See ya." He
Wow.
said, "We're flying over the Bahamas. I'm gonna check out for a moment."
Now I'm free falling.
I hope he had a parachute. I hope he made
He
it.
didn't.
He didn't.
He did not make it.
Wow.
Yeah, he died.
So he just said goodbye.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense.
What a way to go. I wouldn't want to go that way.
I guess we can move on to my topic now.
Yeah, there's not really much else to say
Since
about
there's
that.
not much else to say about man walked out of plane.
Yeah.
He literally just logged out of the game.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
Yeah.
He logged out of the game. So now for a more serious topic. So as we know, the unprovoked attack on the people of Ukraine started officially on February 24th, 2022. But in the world of the internet, the war started long before that. So there's a report from the threat hunter team at Symantec. They make Norton antivirus. And they reported a string of disk wiping attacks done shortly before the launch of the attack. Like, a couple days and some odd before. And the name of this malware was called Trojan.killdisk. And once it was ran, it would drop the executable file compatible with the operating system and wipe the system. This will also damage the master boot record, rendering the computer completely inoperable. So they're effectively remotely destroying the machines. Kill Disk.
Okay. Pretty self-explanatory.
And yeah, it's a very simple malware, but it's devastating. And the interesting thing about this is that temporal evidence of, just the malware itself suggests that the attacks began as early as November of 2021.
Oh, so
So
quite a while
it's
before.
been a while.
Yeah.
And there was this one such incident where an organization in Lithuania was attacked, and they executed some commands on the system once they gained access to the system to download some JPEGs from a local web server on the network and stole the credentials from the infected machine. After this, they destroyed it with Kill Disk.
Alrighty.
So it's very get in, steal stuff, destroy
Destroy
everything.
all evidence.
Which is very interesting. It's a very destructive way to do things. Because, sometimes you might want to go back and get that data. Also, dear audience, you will have to ignore the dishes being playing to someone's doing the dishes. I really can't do anything about it. This is a very scuffed episode. But I'm trying to keep it as professional as possible. And there was also this Ukraine organization where a malicious SMB activity was just server message block. It's basically a protocol where, you can make requests to a Microsoft Exchange server, which is mail.
Okay.
And a couple of those activities were detected, and that was leveraged to gain access to the server. And after that, they stole credentials and then wiped the machine. Which is funny because that is the mail server. So it's the mail server for this Ukraine organization. And of course, all this is anonymous because Symantec doesn't want their customers, revealed.
Yeah.
And probably the customers themselves don't want to be identified. But yeah. So it's a very it's not very interesting. It's very brutish.
Yeah.
You just kind of get in, steal some stuff, destroy everything.
Mm-hmm.
And in the case of the Exchange server, I find that interesting because there's a lot of emails stored on a mail server.
Yeah.
So you could find a lot of information on there. And they practically didn't touch it. They just stole the credentials.
Mm-hmm.
And then destroyed the server. And another thing that they would do is they would deploy a ransomware decoy.
Okay.
And if you don't know what ransomware is, it encrypts the files on the system. You pay money, do something.
Yeah,
whatever. You pay the ransom to unencrypt it.
Right, we discussed ransomware last episode.
Right. And here is the message from the ransomware that was deployed on the system. Quote, "The only thing we learn from new elections is that we learn nothing from the old." End quote. "Thank you for your vote. All files, documents, and photos, videos, databases, etc. have been successfully encrypted. Now your computer has a special ID, redacted." Whatever the ID. Yeah. "Do not try to decrypt them by yourself. It's impossible. It's just business and we only care about getting benefits. The only way to get your files back is to contact us to get further instructions. To prove that we have a decryptor, send us any encrypted file, less than 650 kilobytes, and we'll send you back it being decrypted. This is our guarantee. Note, do not send file with sensitive content. In the email, write your computer's special ID, mentioned above. So if you want to get your files back, contact us. Vote 2024 for JB at protonmail.com. Or Stephanie.Jones 2024 at protonmail.com. If we don't answer you during 3 days. Have a nice day. So, a couple of interesting things about this.
Mm-hmm.
The emails. First of all, they're using the domain ProtonMail, which is an anonymous dark web email system.
Yeah.
Like, it's what you use if you don't want to be identified through your email.
Mm-hmm.
And also, the email address is vote2024 for JB. We can only guess who that is. Do you have any guesses?
No, I honestly don't.
JB?
Because I don't know.
JB? You are...
I figured it out
Yeah.
real quick.
Have you figured it out now?
I figured it out. Joe Brandon.
Joe Brandon.
Joe Brandon.
Yeah. You got it.
Yeah, I'm a little slow today, but I got there.
Yeah. Joe Brandon. Yeah, that's his name.
Yep.
I'm convinced. But, yeah, it's very in line with Russia's tactics, you know?
Right.
You got, first of all, pinning it on the U.S. political actor somehow. and then just, like, because they've done this before. You got, gosh, what was the name of that organization? All I got in my head is for, like, state-sponsored hackers is, like, Lazarus right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the crazy one that everyone knows about now. They're stealing a bunch of money. But the interesting thing about this case is the ransomware is a total decoy. That is not what it's for. They're not trying to get money or whatever.
Okay. So
They're just trying to buy themselves some time. So what they're doing is they're putting this ransomware on, and while they're doing what they're trying to do. So their security team is trying to work against this malware, try to get negotiations going, that sort of thing. Meanwhile, they're trying to steal credentials and destroy the system.
Okay.
So it does, like, it's very on point for Russia. And there's a lot of cyber attacks that they've done, but I was not trying to take the whole episode, just telling you a play-by-play of every single cyber attack that Russia does. But, let me see, I think his name's Kenneth Gears. He's doing a talk for DEF CON 30 here in a couple of weeks. He's one of the panelists for day one. And it should be very interesting. I don't know if I'll be able to see the talk. Probably not. Probably have to go to DEF CON. But it's something I'm really excited for, and I wanted to cover some content that's going to be coming up in DEF CON. Because it is all very interesting. With the cyber attacks being something that piqued my interest. In addition to the Zoom exploits. Someone's doing a demo of 3 Zoom exploits on Mac OS. Forget his name. But he's doing these exploits. And there's 3 of them on Mac OS. And whenever there's a talk like this, talking about exploits, it's not a recent one. Usually what they do before they go report it is they tell Zoom or another person that will tell Zoom. It's like an exploit, like bug bounties. You sell like your bugs that you find. So they found these 3 exploits, probably said, Zoom, you got 90 days to fix it or something. And then they didn't. So that's interesting. The fact that Zoom, something that everyone's been using in recent years, is just so, like, there's multiple exploits for, like, privilege escalation and just stealing accounts and like doing all these things. And yeah, so I mean, Zoom's been at war with hackers forever. Whenever Zoom courts started, there was this kid being prosecuted, and someone came in and like a bunch of people came in and Zoom bombed it.
Right, we've seen a bunch of that.
Like, like Zoom and hackers do not get along well. But that's yeah, that's the story. It's a very interesting one. We're only 20 minutes in.
The thing I found interesting about that is when you said, if you, as like proof that we can decrypt, the thing, send us a file, make sure it's not something sensitive. Something about that seems interesting to me. Make sure you don't send us your sensitive information.
Yeah,
Something about that, like,
because at the end of the day, the
Mhm.
interesting thing about ransomware, most of them, the ones that aren't politically motivated,
right.
is they just want money. So they'll go into a system, encrypt everything, and say, encrypt everything and say, give us money and we'll decrypt it.
Mhm.
They don't want to get on their bad side by, creating. They don't want to get on the company's bad side. Like, if they're sitting there, encrypting all these files, before that they stole everything, which would have generated logs.
Mhm.
So if they go in and steal everything and encrypt it and try to get them to pay, the company's just going to be like, well, you already stole everything.
Right.
So what's the point? Like, why should we even try? So, yeah, that's why. Because ransomware is kind of the new hostage situation. It's the try to convince, it's very, work with the person.
Mhm.
And we have the whole thing, we don't negotiate with terrorists. Well, with ransomware, like they say, do not try to decrypt it yourself, it's impossible. If you know anything about encryption, it scrambles it in according to like whatever hash key, which is a really long number. That's
Mhm.
basically mathematically impossible to solve over, like, you can't you can't work backwards, because if you work backwards, it's going to take way too long. In the case of like modern hashes, like SHA-256, or probably newer than SHA-256, but
Mhm.
that's just an example. It To like brute force your way to like guess the hash key, it's going to take you, like, mathematically speaking, on average, several thousand years.
Yeah.
So just because it's pretty much just the key is a really long number, and you can't work backwards to solve it because it would take too long.
Mhm.
So that's like why ransomware is so effective, because it's you either pay them or you don't get your files back,
Right.
essentially. And there are people who say they can, like agencies that say they can, like organizations and stuff that say, oh, if you pay us, we'll go in and decrypt them for you.
Mhm.
Well, what in the actual case, it's actually just they go in and negotiate for a lower price than what you paid them, and then they take the difference. So it so that's why it's just so good
Yeah.
to be in ransomware, because I don't want to say good, but so like lucrative.
Profitable?
Yeah, that's what I mean to say. It's so
Yeah.
lucrative, because either way, they're either getting their money or they can threaten something else. Like, like, I'll just leak all this,
Mhm.
which is in the case of Lapsus, like I talked about in the last episode. Yeah, in the case of Lapsus, they were like, do this or we'll leak everything, instead of just pay us money and we'll decrypt the files. So yeah, that's why it's like, you know it's very cordial, and
Yeah.
like they're not trying to get on the company's bad side.
Any more than they already are.
Yeah. Well, they definitely want to be on it. They definitely want to be bad guys, but they don't want to
Mhm.
be. They don't want to be a bad option,
Mhm.
because they still want their money.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's it's been a really short episode.
It has, and there's still bits that we have to cut out.
Yeah, there's we probably have about 20 minutes of footage here.
Yeah,
But
we haven't done. I have a question yet. We always
we
do.
haven't. We
That
need the
always goes off on so many tangents.
yeah.
Do you even have a question this
I
episode?
do.
Oh.
I do have a question this
Well,
episode.
good for you.
Are you saying you don't?
Yeah. Like I said earlier, like I was
it's the
telling
meme.
Taylor,
It's part of the meme.
it's the meme. I never have a question ready.
Yeah.
just
I
can't
mean,
think of any
I do have.
icebreakers.
I do have a question.
What's your question?
Do you have any weird superstitions?
That's a good question because I have to think about that. I don't know. Some of the superstitions I like air quotes believe are ones I go along with, like for the bit almost.
It's funny to
It's
have
funny
this
to
weird
do them.
superstition.
Yeah, like when someone says like when you say heaven forbid something happen, knock on wood, I always knock on wood. Like just because one, it's just fun to do it. And like stuff like that, like but there are ones where I'll like actively defy the superstition. I will walk under a ladder. I will cross the path of a black cat and stuff like that. And I guess the only one that I really like, actually no, there's one that's like the opposite of superstition, I believe. 4-leaf clovers. Every single time I find one, it's very unlucky, which is unfortunate because I'm lucky enough to find them quite often.
But
It's
what do you mean it's unlucky when you find them?
Every time I find one, like the day of or the next day, I can point to one event and be like, that was unlucky. Like, what's the first example? I found one, and the day of, my allergies got so bad, I became violently ill. And I was like, that's ironic. And then I can't remember what the next one after that. And then, but there were some other instances where I've found 4-leaf clovers and like fallen off my scooter and skinned my knee and stuff like that. So it's
I
like
do remember that. Yeah.
Really? That was years ago before we met.
No, but there was a joke that you always said. Like you always told us about it. Whenever you found a 4-leaf clover, you would say, "Oh, I'm gonna fall off my thing."
I don't remember ever saying that, but that's
Yeah.
funny.
I remember you saying that. Either that or one of our friends said it. That now you're gonna fall off your scooter and skin your knee, or something like that.
That's very funny. But yeah, other than that, I can't really think of any superstitions I like, air quotes, believe, because I'm not a very superstitious person. I'm not like that's not really the thing I do. But yeah, I have some that I believe the opposite of, or like actively defy and stuff.
You just go out there and defy every single one.
Yeah, every single
Pretty
one.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a singular superstition.
I'm curious
Just
about
the
what
one.
that one is.
The curse of the coconut Red Bull.
I don't know this
You don't
one.
remember this one? I've definitely told you it before. But basically, if I ever buy a coconut Red Bull, I have just a bad day, you know?
Interesting.
And like the last time, I'll tell you the last time it happened, the last time I bought a coconut Red Bull, because I will defy it every now and then, 'cause I like the taste of coconut Red Bull.
Right.
So I attempted to defy it one Friday at work.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really busy Friday, and I couldn't get anything done, and I just I couldn't get my work done because I work at a gas station and I'm a cashier sometimes.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'm a cashier. Sometimes I work in there's like a deli area,
Okay.
like a Wawa or whatever. And whoops,
Oop.
if that I just knocked over my water bottle. If that was open,
Oh boy, that would have been very
it
bad.
would have been on my phone. Now, my phone it's a Samsung S20 and it has an OtterBox case on it. It
Right.
probably would have been fine.
However, your phone is close to the computer.
Yeah, the computer I would be more worried about because I
Yeah.
pretty much built it myself, which means I don't trust it. I don't trust any water resistance on this. But yeah. So
Red Bull.
I just had a really bad day at
Mm.
work. And just kind of getting the side chores done or anything like that. And it was just a bad day.
That's very interesting. I'm curious, what happens if someone buys you one of those Red Bulls?
Yeah, can we dispel the curse?
And then what happens if you pay them back afterwards? Would the moment you pay them back, the curse kick in?
Maybe.
I wonder. I don't want to
I-
test it, but I want to test it.
I always try to defy it because like if I drink a coconut Red Bull and have a good day,
Mm-hmm.
it'll be like the curse is lifted, right?
Right.
If you defy the curse is lifted.
Mhm.
But also curses are self-fulfilling,
Yeah.
so it's like I'm going by like Shakespearean rules for curses, where it's like they're self-fulfilling, but at the same time if you defy them somehow, they'll be dispelled.
Right.
Just-
I'm very curious though. I'm tempted to just buy you one of those
just to
and
see what
if
happens.
that makes a difference.
It would be interesting. I'll update the podcast with
If we remember.
like in a follow-up episode if the curse of the coconut Red Bull is dispelled.
Coconut Red Bull. I'll have to make a note of that. I will make a note right now.
Because the coconut Red Bull tastes good. That's my problem.
Right.
Because I want to drink the coconut Red Bull, but if I drink the coconut Red Bull, I'm gonna have a bad day.
See, that's the thing. Is it the drinking of it?
Or is it purchasing?
I was about to say, what if you buy one, just leave it in your fridge?
Yeah, let's try it.
Yeah, and then
Well,
open it the next day
we'll
or
have to-
2 days later.
We'll have to experiment
Yeah, I'm curious.
with this curse. Write a tome.
Just a list of all our findings. Well, day 37, the curse is still not taking effect. I'm going to open the drink. Day 38, all is lost.
All is lost. The gates of eternity have opened up and released a maelstrom of terror upon me.
I just realized, cut this bit out. Have you made sure we're recording?
Yes, we're
Okay, good.
recording.
Because we didn't do one of our test recordings beforehand. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, we're definitely recording.
Okay, good.
I don't know if you can see that red thing on the screen.
I see that now. Nice.
Yeah, we're definitely recording.
Good.
That would be funny.
We did all that 20 minutes of content.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, do
I'll-
you have a question yet?
I'm still thinking of one. I had one earlier when I was telling you that I had looked through the Dungeons and Dragons player handbook, because some of the sentences in there are worded as questions, and I figured maybe one of them will be helpful. And I went to the languages section, and it provoked a thought. If you could learn like any language, just have that knowledge.
Just have the knowledge in your head.
What? Yeah. Well, first of all, I didn't word it properly. I have a question.
No. Yeah. What is your question?
If you could just have the knowledge of any language, presumably not one you already know, just any language, what language would that be? You could just know.
I think Spanish, probably.
I'd probably agree with
Just
you.
because it's the most utility.
Right.
I learned Chinese in high school. Didn't get that far. Only took I think 3 years of
Mhm.
it. I'll barely know anything. But I've never really used it.
Yeah.
Spanish, however, I could always use Spanish, especially
Mhm.
when I'm working at a gas station. People are traveling and English is not always their first language, and most commonly it's Spanish.
Right.
So it would be useful to me.
Yeah, that's pretty much my reasoning. I took German in high school, and I've used that once actually. For my mother came to me and was like, "This is written in German. Can you read this?" That was it. That was the only use I've ever had for German. And I was able to read it, by the way. So that's cool.
Yeah,
Oh.
we have a Schwinn exercise bike,
Yeah.
and we couldn't find the English manual, so Aiden was reading in German.
Oh, that's funny. I know Aiden's German too. But yeah,
whoops.
Spanish is. What was that?
That was a hair tie. That's what. I don't even. It's not even mine.
But yeah. Anyway, I took a fairly unusable language in this area of the world. You don't really run into many German speakers here. Honestly, I took it because it was the easiest to learn, or at least that's what the teachers had told me, and it was, from what I could tell. I got fairly decent at German, but Spanish has far more utility around here.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like every time I go to Chinatown, I'm like, that says fish. You know?
Very nice. That's helpful.
Like I'll be walking through Chinatown. My mom will be like, "What's that?" And I go, "I think you can buy groceries there." That says fish. You can buy some fruit.
Nice. I
Yeah,
mean,
sometimes I can do that.
yeah, that's a very conditional usage, and it's good to have if you're going up to Chinatown.
I don't go that often.
I've
though,
never
'cause-
been.
You never been?
Never been.
Oh, we need to go then.
Okay, where is it? I don't
DC.
know. Oh, DC trip. Fun.
Yeah, we can also go to Philly.
Is that closer? I don't know.
I think DC's closer.
I've been to DC. I know the area, so that's
Yeah, I think DC's closer. I kind of,
Possible.
if we go, I kind of want to take a train because I don't want to.
trains are fun. Trains are fun.
Yeah, and also trains are fun. But I feel like I'll be like lost
Yeah. Yeah.
because the last time I went on a train to New York, I was going to a STEM convention,
Okay.
and it was like there was like the army there,
Mhm.
and like Johns Hopkins and a couple other people. Johns Hopkins had a very interesting booth because they were showing off their VR simulations for what do you call them?
You're doing hand motions.
Yeah, like hands, like fake hands.
Oh, prosthetic
Prosthetics.
hands.
There you go.
Yes.
For like
Jinx,
prosthetic.
knock on wood.
Big knock.
Big knock.
But like for your prosthetic
Mhm.
arm, like,
So like training, yeah. That's
So-
really interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, so they'll do like the hand tracking. They'll do like the like the hand tracking on like the
Mhm.
Oculus or whatever, and they'll just have it's a very simple sim where it's just like pick up a ball.
Yeah. That's really interesting.
Yeah, so that's just a form of therapy that they do at Johns Hopkins, and that's what I found the most interesting. The Army also had their like AR stuff, like
Mhm.
some of their AR stuff, like the HoloLens, Microsoft HoloLens.
I don't know that.
It's like an AR device. So
Okay.
like your
Yeah, I know.
where it can like put,
Augmented reality, right?
images on things. Well, they basically had this model thing.
Mhm.
I forget what it was. I think it was like I think it was like a drone or something.
Okay.
And you would put the AR goggles on your head, and you could like see inside it and like kind of.
Oh, that's good for training too.
Yeah, so that's good for training because you can like see in 3D where all the stuff is.
That's really handy.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a STEM commit. Oh, also the Honda robot.
Honda robot. The humanoid one that like
Yeah.
talks funny.
Yeah.
Nice. Wait, you saw that there?
Yeah,
That's cool.
it was dancing and stuff. It was real fun.
Oh, that's really neat.
Yeah, that was cool.
That is very.
That was years ago.
neat.
They have it like every other year.
Okay.
I don't know if they'll have it again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be good
Yeah,
if we do that.
that'd be fun sometime.
We go to Chinatown. I don't know when the STEM convention is. I think
You're trying to schedule it around the STEM convention.
I think it was back in spring. I think we missed it.
Oh well. I'll say probably won't do it anytime soon. You're about to head back to college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
College will be interesting because this is a little bit personal, but I forgot that I had to take some CSC electives.
Right.
So I'm playing catch up.
Fine.
I'm gonna have to take like 18 credits next semester. Not this one, but next one.
That sounds like a lot of
I'll
credits.
be like, yeah, I'll be like living at the college. It's like be like 6 classes.
Wow.
So it should work out. I'm not saying it won't.
I will say good luck. I can't give you any 4-leaf clovers.
Yeah, because apparently they're bad.
Yeah. But
But yeah, it's gonna be pretty tough.
Yeah.
I just hope I can do it because I don't wanna. I wanna wait till spring, and be like, oh, I gotta take one class. You know, it'd be pretty lame.
yeah.
Yeah. It'd just be pretty lame if I had to like wait till next year and then be like, I need to take a single class. Because A, that's a waste of my time. and
Right.
B, just like, yeah, it's just a waste of my time. Because there were classes that I wanted to take, but they didn't offer them.
Oh,
Like they were in the course catalog, but they didn't offer them.
that's interesting.
I guess it's because the semester before they didn't have enough interest or whatever.
Mm,
But there was
I
like
see.
interesting ones like how to like repair machines.
Okay.
Which I already
That would be
do.
yeah, useful.
Yeah, which I already do, and I was like, well, it'd be nice to know how to do this in a professional setting.
Mhm.
And hey, taking that class might give me good pointers on how to do my own work.
Right.
But now I gotta take classes like how to use Windows.
That's the class.
Yeah, it's called Windows Client, and it's about how to use Windows. But it's about how to use Windows, but in a more technical sense. Like, you know, I think it also provides like Windows Server training as well, which is probably more required than not. Or well, none of this is required. It's an elective.
Right.
But I have to take it for my degree. But who knows? Maybe I'll take it and it'll be the best class ever, and I'll come back and I'll be like, you know what? I loved Windows Client. I learned so many things that I didn't know before in Windows. It's not like I'm a Windows user like since I was born. Since I knew how to use a computer, I was using Windows. Like, I think, yeah, that's probably the first operating system I was introduced to. Unless you count whatever operating system the DS runs. The DS or the Wii.
Yeah.
But like on a computer, that was the first operating system I was introduced to. You go to I went to elementary school and they used Macs, and
Yep.
I don't hate Mac because
I
Mac.
don't remember Mac.
Yeah, you haven't used Mac.
Not since elementary school.
Yeah, we have a Mac in there,
Okay.
and I actually booted Windows onto it. I dual booted Windows onto it because it's for my mom.
Uh-huh.
And my mom's like, "Well, I don't want to use Mac." I'm like, "I got you." The Magic Mouse still gives her a problem.
Yeah.
Because that's the one where you gotta flip it upside down and like stick the charge port.
Oh.
Remember the ones that we complain about where you can't use it while it's charging because
Oh,
the charger is on
yeah.
the back.
That's a horrible design flaw.
Well, you can also get the ones that wirelessly charge.
Ooh.
And then you can get like a mouse pad that wirelessly charges them.
That's cool.
But it's like double the price.
Still cool though.
And the Magic Mouse is already expensive.
Yeah.
And there's like no like middle mouse click or anything. It looks nice, don't get me wrong. It doesn't play nice with Windows, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, that's why we have a Mac. It was just for my mom to do her work. And I'm not gonna say it sucks because like the power behind it is actually not bad. It's like in a small package and it's got like I think a Core i7. Like it's one of the older generations, but it's got an RX 590. This all nerd stuff. But
yeah, let's say I'm nodding and agreeing.
Yeah, it's got an RX 590. It's not bad. Like, it's not a bad machine,
Yeah.
but it's just we don't like Macs in this house. No, none of us know how to use Mac.
Hmm.
I repair iPhones and I still have a trouble like working iPhone like or iOS. That's what it's called.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I just can't do it sometimes.
Yeah.
Like my boss will ask me how to use her phone,
Oh God.
and she'll be like, "Help me, how do I do this?" I'll be like,
Me with my parents and their phones.
I just kind of guess,
Yeah.
like, cause I know how to do it on Android,
Mhm.
but I don't know how to do it on iPhone, which is different because Android you swipe down and you can see your notifications. Apple you swipe down and you see like this whole control panel menu,
Yep.
and there's no like home button or like there's no like home button or anything like on Android. But Android does have swipe controls now, which I still keep I still keep my buttons
Mhm.
because I like my buttons.
Buttons are good.
Anyway, enough of me rambling about Apple versus Android versus
Mac.
versus Windows, PC master race, and that's all you really need to know.
I agree with that.
I agree
Yeah.
wholeheartedly with that statement.
Yes, I agree.
Hey, we can talk about Hell of a Boss season 2.
Have you watched it yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you should. It's so good.
But it is out.
It is out. And, oh man, I love that episode.
Is it good?
It's so. I personally really like it because it's a lot of backstory.
I just like when it's funny.
It is funny.
Yeah.
There are very funny scenes in it. It made me laugh. But I love the backstory of
The
it.
pilot episode is honestly probably my favorite episode.
That was so long ago. I don't remember. I know I've watched every episode.
It's where they have the infomercial and it's like the entire episode.
Oh.
Notice.
I think I remember. Yeah.
Because it's like also some
I
like
need to rewatch the whole series. It's been so long.
I mean, it's not like it's that long.
It's been that long since I've watched it. Though.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But yeah, the last episode was. If we even have any viewers who watch Hell of a Boss, or if you watched the Has Been Hotel pilot from like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But yeah, it's the last episode was fantastic. I was very confused when they released it because the season finale of last season was part 1. They hadn't released part 2, but they released the new season 2
trailer. I saw that the trailer for it.
Yeah, it was apparently they had like legal issues about part 2. I don't know what those issues are, but apparently it was a whole big thing, and they had to.
Isn't like Has Been Hotel like on like something?
I think the reason Has Been Hotel hasn't gotten any content is because they're trying to get some deals with like actual like producers and stuff.
They're trying to air that show.
They're trying to air it like on like television and stuff. Yeah, I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I have no clue.
Yeah, because I'm wondering if Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss is like conflicting with IPs because I know some TV companies will be like, "Oh, we're gonna air your show, but your IP is now ours."
Right.
So maybe there's that, and maybe there's like some infringement on like what characters they're allowed to use.
Possibly.
Like, because maybe they introduced an episode, like a character from Has Been Hotel that wasn't in
maybe
Hell of a Boss, and maybe they were like, you can't do that.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the legalities of it.
I know some things only because I'm on YouTube.
Right.
Because YouTube is a vile place.
Right.
YouTube sucks.
I'm only referring to
hear me? YouTube sucks, Susan. Fix it.
See, I know enough about YouTube discourse that I know who you're yelling at. That's it. But no, I mean like the specific legalities of this episode. I don't know if they've even talked about what's holding up part 2 of the season 1 finale.
I'll
But-
probably watch it tonight.
I would say we
Season-
should watch it before I leave.
You know what? Probably, yeah.
If we have time after the recording of this podcast.
I think we will actually.
What time is it?
It's only 11:20.
We can watch it. Yeah, we'll have time. 11:20?
1:20.
I was about to say,
But yeah, maybe we'll watch it after this episode. I was talking with some of the people on Angel Shive's Discord,
mhm.
and and we have two conflicting. We have people that are really excited, pumped for it.
Mhm.
We got other people who say, "I'm not into furries."
Fair, I guess.
And
okay.
I'm like, well, I'm not either. I just think the show's funny.
Yeah. Honestly, most of them aren't super furry. Well, okay, Luna, but
Well, obviously.
yeah, but other than
That's obviously something that and I skip past all the like bad stuff really.
Yeah.
Because I'm not really interested in it. I'm in for like the jokes, like
Mhm.
the Adult Swim level of jokes. that we
Yeah.
got going
Oh, there
on
are
here.
some in the last episode. Trust me. It's good stuff. It is very NSFW. Well, slightly. They don't show anything, but it is NSFW, of course.
Yeah. Like I
But-
said, Adult Swim levels of
Yeah. Just disclaimer out there to any of the children who might be watching.
Yeah,
Don't go.
Children watch this podcast.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
I-
Parents will put on something and be like, here, watch this. I don't think they'd be watching this, but disclaimer, if you're very young, don't watch Hell of a Boss. Don't, or Has Been Hotel. Do not.
Here we go. Okay, audience demographics: 61% 18 to 22.
That's a good demographic. Yeah, anyone like
Again,
I
no
wouldn't
no
say-
one younger than 18.
yeah.
No one.
Although I watched it when I was
uh,
17.
and
but-
this is only for my Spotify audience. This
Mhm.
demographic I'm looking at, and it's also 83% male. But so our majority is 18 to 22-year-olds who are male.
That's very interesting.
Also, our 17% female audience.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, all the women out there. Hi.
Yeah. Oh, I
Mm.
forgot about that.
What?
It's now telling me that I can like get sponsors for the show.
We can be sponsored?
Yeah, but it's already so the way it works is so there's a couple ways you can do it. There's host read ads and listener support. So listener support is our listeners will donate
Right.
to the show. Host read ads are companies giving us ads to read. We do an ad read,
I love ad reads.
and then we get paid when people listen to it.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be like a handful of pennies for every listen. And considering we're a show with 70 total plays and one play this week,
Nice.
I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah, but that'd be fun.
Now, to every single one of our 70 listeners, I do want to say thank you.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm shocked we have even that big of a following.
Yeah, I mean,
Like y'all care to listen to what we have to say every other week?
yeah,
Crazy.
I mean, that's 70 total plays, but still, like, our audience is probably something like across 20 episodes. Let's just say like 5 or, probably more than 5. I want to say
Probably.
like 10 or 15.
Even then, there's people listening to us.
People do listen.
It's crazy.
I know. It is crazy. I'm just glad that someone listens to us, even if it's
Yeah.
one person.
Yeah.
Because I do this show for fun. I haven't promoted it since
Yeah, I
the
don't
new
promote.
seasons come out,
Mhm.
but I will start promoting it once I get the kinks out, which probably right now.
Yeah.
But yeah. This episode was very spitbally.
It was. I'm gonna end up promoting this one too.
But
I
yeah,
quite like this one.
I think this will be a good show.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. Once again, appreciate y'all for listening.
For sure.
You say you love ad reads. We can do them, but it's work. It's extra work.
It'd be fun though.
and it's like an obligation to a company.
It'd be fun though. I like ad reads where they give you some like creative liberties to like do bits and stuff. Those are the best.
Yeah, the hard thing with podcasts though is you can't really do bits because it's just like
I've
talk
seen bits in podcasts.
for
Watch
for
Distractable.
Well, yeah, I guess distractible.
That's a shameless plug to a project that isn't mine or Taylor's.
Yeah,
Just one I enjoy.
Markiplier is a good creator,
Mm-hmm.
and of course all of them.
All of them.
all of them,
Him and
all-
his friends are fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, they are. They're a great bunch.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, enough plugging
Hope we-
other people's
I would
stuff.
say I hope we padded out the runtime on this episode.
Oh, definitely.
enough.
We hit our hour.
That's good.
Anyway, thank you all for listening. A little scuffed, but hey, that's how we like it.
Yeah.
If you did enjoy listening, just like this, share it. Sharing it's probably the best thing. Honestly, that's probably the best thing you can do for this show. But yeah, that's all we have today. Kind of slow
A little.
news wise.
Yeah. Not much
I'm sure
going on.
like literally tomorrow, like the sun's gonna blow up or something.
I bet. I hope.
But man, if the sun blows up,
We won't be able to report on it.
won't- Unfortunately,
No.
we can't cover that content.
We'll be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a crazy thing about space. You know gamma radiation, right?
I do know gamma radiation.
We won't even see it because it's so fast.
Mm-hmm.
But gamma radiation can hit this planet and everything dies.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh,
That could just happen at one point.
do you want me to tell you something weirder that could just happen in theory?
Yeah.
False vacuum decay.
Oh.
Scary. Because it would. What false vacuum decay implicates is that at any moment the Higgs field could have a lesser value than it currently does. For those who don't know, the Higgs field is what gives matter its mass, its rest mass. At any point, we don't know that it's at its lowest possible value. So at any point, at anywhere in the universe, it could drop to a lesser value, and that bubble would spread at the speed of light, and all matter would lose structure immediately. And we would never be able to see it coming because it's traveling at the speed of light.
That's insane.
Yeah. Theoretically, that could happen. We have no reason to believe it will, but don't sleep tonight, kids. The universe might just end in the blink of an eye.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Just a stray bolt of gamma radiation, the Higgs field just deciding to collapse. All like
And more. And more.
Yeah, space is crazy and can just kill us in a second.
Yeah.
If that doesn't make you fear for your life, I don't know what will. Which is great because we're ending this episode.
Yeah.
The post credit tangent about space.
Man, space is great.
How many of those have we had?
About space specifically?
No, just post credit tangents.
Too many. Every single episode.
Every single episode. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. We'll see y'all in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Hopefully. We're recording this before the next episode even comes out.
Yeah.
It's been a wild time just right before college. It's pretty messy around here.
Mhm.
But hopefully we can continue to bring these out and hopefully you continue to enjoy them. Anyway, that's been the Lads Podcast, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Farewell.
Bye-bye.